Hey friends, how are you? It is Tuesday, March 15th, and what I told you we were going to do today is to start with the wheel. So these are some people that we had from last week, so I'm going to pick three for homework, then I'm going to write you down on my list, and then I'm going to send you your prize. So these are our three homework names from last week. Number one, we have Colin. Okay. And number two, we have Jasmine. And our third homework prize goes to Vinny. So this is for our second spin, our second wheel. We're going to make one spin on this one. And this is for people that went on Google Stream and told us if they had a pet or if they didn't have a pet. And if they had a pet, what kind of pet did they have? And Caleb said that he had no pet. And Jasmine said she had a cat named Princess. And Vinny said he had a dog named, and I think I spelled this wrong, but Plooches. And then Tyler doesn't have a dog, but he had a Rottweiler. And then Colin has a dog. He has a big dog named Zeus and a little dog named Yoda. So this is our pet spin. And that goes to Jasmine. Jasmine, it looks like I'm going to put two things in one package for you, okay? So you won for the homework and you also won for the pet. So you should get two prizes. And then our last wheel was, do you remember when I showed you, where is that picture here? Ah, here's the picture. Do you remember when I showed you this picture? And I said, what is this? This is when I took you to Duluth and we went and we looked in the antique store, right? The question was, what is this thing right here? And two people guessed on this one, and so we'll spin the wheel for that one. And let's find out what, do you know what that is? That was a phone. That was an old telephone. So Damien and Colin guessed that one, and I'll spin the wheel for this. And that's Colin. Okay, Colin? So I'll double up your package too. And what are we doing next? Oh, the next thing we're doing. Do you remember yesterday I showed you how to string a guitar, right? Take the strings and put them on the guitar. Here's the guitar. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how do you tune the guitar? How do we tune the guitar? And normally what I like to do is you can start with an online tuner or you can start with an online video. And I usually like to start with a video. And then after I show you a video, I can show you how the tuner works. All right, so I'm going to go up here. I'm going to say guitar tuner. And I'm going to put on that video. I spelled tuner wrong. Has an E in it. So I'll click here. And I'll start with this one. Guitar tuner. So it shows us the E string. That's the 54, and then the A string, the 44, and then the D, the 32, and then the G, the 24, and the B, the 16, and the E, the 12. So we're going to start with the lowest one, and then I'm going to try to match that pitch. speed that up, I'm going to check those all again because I think I may have missed a couple. And like I said before, as I get these in tune and I start tuning these, then these will go out of tune because you're changing the tension of the whole neck. Okay, so here we go. Now you'll notice that as I play, some of the strings are continuing to stretch, so they'll start in tune and out of tune. I'm going to show you another cool thing for tuning a guitar. So I'm going to go over here to GarageBand, and maybe this works, maybe this doesn't. So I'm going to turn on a tuner and see if we can get the tuner to record our guitar. Okay, friends, so now we are opening GarageBand and we're going to open this up here. This is a tuner. Okay? And this shape right there is a tuning fork. I'll show you what a tuning here. Do you see this up there? Bum, 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 bum. That's a tuning fork. And that tells us, right, that we're going to tune our instruments. So now I'm going to show you a tuning fork. And these are tuning forks. And what you do is you hit a tuning fork and the vibrations create a pitch. And then you match your instrument to that pitch. Okay? And you can see that there's different tuning forks in different sizes, and each one controls or makes a different pitch. So you can use those. Isn't this kind of cool? So you look at these tuning forks over here. They're all different sizes. They create different pitches. So what I'm going to do now is show you one guy that shows you how to tune one string on his violin with a tuning fork.
Hey everyone, today I'd like to show you how to tune a violin using a good old-fashioned tuning fork. To activate the tuning fork, all you need to do is hit it somewhere, for example your knee, or if you have a really hard head, as long as you don't hurt yourself, hold it this way, not this way when you hit it. And as it's vibrating, put it close to your ear so you hear the pitch. Right now I hear, that's close anyway. My singing is terrible, but other ways of using the fork is to hit it and then put it on the instrument. You can also do it on the bridge if you don't want to hurt the varnish, or anywhere that you think is a good idea to make contact with the instrument. So when you hear that pitch, you then need to kind of memorize the tone just a little bit for a little while. And that's why these things are so good too, because they train you to memorize a pitch. This is a 440 tuning fork, and a lot of people, especially in orchestras, tune a bit higher, like 442 or 443. So this might feel like it's a little flat, but it's no big deal. You can always tune just slightly higher. So once again, hit the fork, put it by your ear, memorize the tone, and pluck the string as you're turning the peg.
All right, so now we know what a tuning fork looks like. and we know what a tuning fork does. Here's a guy that's showing us a few things you can do, some science experiments with tuning forks. And it's really cool because remember, all sound is vibration. That's all it is. Vibrations in the air create sound, right? So what happens if you take a vibrating tuning fork and you put it in water? What do you think is going to happen? So that's what he's going to show us next. I think you'll like this.
Tuning forks are wonderful tools for teaching physics. Every physics classroom should have several, and every physics student should be taught how to use them.
In this video, I'll be showing you the top 10 demonstrations that you can do while using a tuning fork.
When using a tuning fork, hold it by the base and strike the end of the tines with a rubber mallet. If a mallet is unavailable, strike it against something moderately soft like a bent knee or a mouse pad or the edge of a table. Once it's vibrating, touch the lower part of the tines near the joint to dampen out the unwanted higher harmonics. Hold the tines near your ear or the base of a large flat surface such as a tabletop or a whiteboard.
Try dipping the tuning fork in water. All sounds come from vibrations. This experiment looks great in slow motion. Try putting the tuning fork in front of a CRT computer monitor for an interesting wiggly effect.
What the?
An adjustable strobe light can give the illusion of slow motion. Is this tuning fork even moving? Whoa, I guess it was. Clip a simple speaker removed from its housing to an oscilloscope and demonstrate the pure tone of the tuning fork. You can also verify its frequency.
One of the most famous demonstrations is that of resonance. I have these two tuning forks which are on the same frequency, 256. If I sound one of them, the sound gets transported to the other through resonance. And back again. Here's a way you can enhance the demonstration. I've hung a ping pong ball on a string and it's up against the edge of one of the tuning forks. Watch what happens. For this demonstration, I'm sending a beam of laser light all the way across the room. And it lands on this solar cell which is connected to a speaker system. When I block the beam with my hand, you can hear it on the speakers. Now partially blocking the beam with a tuning fork, you can hear it on the speakers. These two tuning forks are not in agreement. This one has a little extra ballast which lowers the frequency slightly. When I sound them together, the sounds will interfere rhythmically, both constructively and destructively. That's called beats. You can see it on an oscilloscope. One very common lab that uses tuning forks is measuring the speed of sound by resonance. Here, I've got a 288 Hz D tuning fork. I strike the tuning fork and hold it, searching for the resonance. Then, by measuring the height at resonance, you can determine the wavelength of the sound. There are many interesting demonstrations and experiments to perform by gluing a mirror on the end of a tuning fork. If you shine a laser light on the mirror and then wiggle it around when it's struck, you'll notice that you get the sine curve. That's right, the tuning fork is vibrating in a sinusoidal pattern. Combining two tuning forks and pointing them at perpendicular angles, you can generate the original Lissajous figures. Don't forget that these are actually musical notes. Take tuning forks C, E, and G, and you can strike a chord. The chord is C major. One of the last things you're going to want to do with your tuning fork is tune a musical instrument. You got to be careful because the scientific tuning forks do not match the musical scale. The way it's usually done is you take a tuning fork and resonate it on the body of the instrument and see if it matches the note that you're playing. Well, I hope you learned everything you wanted to know about tuning forks. See the article for more details, and I'll see you next time.
Those tuning fork science lessons or the ideas, I liked them. I didn't understand them. I understood a little bit. I understood about like the vibration and stuff, but the rest of the stuff I really didn't understand. But it's okay. I thought it was good for me to see that, right? But one thing was interesting. He said that he could use the tuning forks, the C and the E and the G, to make a chord. So what I'm going to do for you right now is we're going to learn how to make chords. So the first thing we do before we make chords is we have to know what are the names of the notes. Okay, and look up here. They have C3, C4, C5, and C6, right? So all of those are C notes. They're just different octaves. So this is the lowest C, and here's the highest C. So this is C octave 3, C octave 4, C octave 5, C octave 6. That's cool, right? And I sent you this link so you can play with this too, and then you can learn how to make chords. So I'm going to, first of all, figure out what are the name of the notes. So I'm going to go, this is C. And what comes after C in the alphabet? A, B, C. What is this? D. Yep, C, D. And then what comes after D? C, D, E. Yep. And what comes after E? C, D, E, F. Yep. What comes after F? C, D, E, F, G. Now this is where it gets tricky because in music we only go up to G. There's no H in music. So the notes go C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes back to the beginning of the alphabet. So we only go up to G. What is the beginning of our alphabet? Yeah, it's A, right? So now we go to A. So we went C, D, E, F, G, A. What comes after A? B, yeah. And what comes after B? They give you a hint right here. That's C. And what comes after C? D. And what comes after D? E. Good. What comes after E? A, B, C, D, E, F. And in the alphabet, what comes after F? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, what comes after G in music? Do you remember? G goes all the way back to the beginning. So what's the very beginning? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Beginning A. Good for you. What comes after A? B. And what comes after B? Here's your clue. C. What comes after C? D. And what comes after D? E. And what comes after E? A, B, C, D, E, F. Good. And what comes after F? G. Yep. And what comes after G? That's where it's tricky, right? It goes back to the beginning. What comes after G? A. And what comes after A? B. And the last one is what comes after B? And here's your hint. That is C. Good. So this is what we have. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right? Cool. So I'm going to show you how to make a chord because he said he could make a chord if he went C, skip one, C, D, and E, C and E, C, D, E, skip F and G. So this is his C chord. Cool? He just made a C chord. C, E, G, E, C. And you can make any other chord you want doing that pattern. We're not working with the black keys right now. We're just working with the white keys. So the next one I'm going to make is a D minor chord. So we'll start on D, skip one, F, skip G, and A. So we went play, skip, play, skip, play. Let's see what the D minor chord sounds like. Cool. Let's go to the E minor chord. C, D, E. Play, skip, play, skip, play. That's our E minor chord. So this is what we made so far. We made C, D minor, E minor. Now we're going to make an F major chord, F major. So let's start in C, D, E, F, skip one, play one, skip one, play one. Here is our F major chord. Cool. Next one is our G major chord. Start in C, D, E, F, G. Play one, skip one, play one, skip one, play one. Here's our G major chord. The next one is the A minor chord. C, D, E, F, G. Back to the beginning. A. Play one, skip one, play one, skip one, play one. Here's our A minor chord. Cool. And the B diminished chord. B diminished. So we have C, D, E, F, G. After G goes A. After A comes B. Play one, skip one, play one, skip one, play one. Here is our B diminished chord. And then our last one is where we started. We started on C, skip, play, skip, play. And now we're playing the higher C chord. So we play, skip, play, skip, play. So here's the one we just made, the higher C. here's the one we started with. Hey, friends, you just made chords on this piano. So I'm going to send this with you, and you can mark your notes and you can play your notes. You can also hit clear and clear your notes. Okay? So let's get back now to using the GarageBand tuner to tune our guitars. And then I want to do some more chord stuff with you. Okay? I love this. This is so much fun. I hope you love it too. So now that you know what a tuning fork is, when you see GarageBand, you look up here, that's a tuning fork. So that says we're going to tune. So I go like this, I click on it, and that box pops up. And I'm going to play my first note. My first note's going to be an E. And if my note is on, it'll be green. And if it's too low, it'll be down here. And if it's too high, it's going to be up here. Okay? So let's try our first note, E. You can see that E is too low. So I'll tune it up. You see it starts turning green? That means we're pretty good. Next note is A. Too low. Next note is D. Next note is G. Next note is B. Last note is the high E. Then I go from the bottom to the top. I check them all again because as we tune these, and then we start tuning these, when we adjust these strings, it might change the tension of the neck and change these strings. So you always got to go back to the beginning and do them again. So low E, A, D, G, B, E. Ooh, that sounds good. So you just used an online tuner on GarageBand, and you got to see what a tuning fork looks like and how it's played. Cool. Friends, that's all I have for today for you. Tomorrow, we're going to check in with the kiddies and see how they're doing. And then I'm going to show you like a kiddie chart so you can see what things they should be doing by weeks. You know, like you can see when they open their eyes, you can see when they eat on their own, when they can stand and walk, all these different benchmarks for kiddies. So we'll keep track of that. Then I want to go do a song making game on chord. So today we made the chords C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. And I want to take those 6 chords and roll the dice, and then I want to make songs, random songs. Then I want you to do the same thing, roll the dice, make random chords, and send me your song on Google Stream. Then the last thing I think we'll do, well, there might be a couple other things, but maybe the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a game called Dot Piano. And on Dot Piano, you can make songs. And you can see the songs. So cool. And then you can copy the song and share it on Google Stream. Isn't that cool? So I can see the song that you made on Dot Piano. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. But for today, have a beautiful Tuesday, and I will smell you all later.